Um, companionship,
Companionship in what way? Because now we're doing red pill and chilling. So come up a little bit.
because
Yeah, scoot up a little bit.
sorry, DoorDash is gonna be here. Second. Probably companionship, physical affection. I feel like that's men's main motivation, right?
Men's main motivation is physical affection. As in what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like their main motivation.
Like sex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about
No, they want
anything
to
else?
hold hands.
What about everything else?
I mean, I'm sure, okay, like if they're analytical enough to realize that, okay, I want to have a companion, I want someone to spend my time with, they're concerned about their future, having children, being married, someone that can protect and take care of their home while they're out working and doing whatever. Pause. Hello? Yes, Elon Musk. Okay. Can you come up to the room or do I need to go down there? Okay, thank you. It's 11:47. Thank you. So sorry, my grandma.
Stupid. So what about some other things like respect, fucking loyalty, fucking communication? We don't want those things or what?
Well, your question was, what do men want?
In women, yes.
And so I feel like what they mostly want is a companion. They probably desire somebody that can cook, that can clean, that can take care of kids. You know what I mean? All the basics.
Okay. This is why shows like
Am I
mine.
wrong?
Well, half wrong, half right. This is why shows like mine and other people's Fresh and Fit, etc., are so very important. It's because men want only three things, right? That's attractive, loyal, feminine woman. So everything under attractive, which is kind of what you said, attractive, sex, etc., blah, blah, blah.
5 stars on Yelp, baby.
Loyal, which is you're not a hoe, you're not doing hoish activity, you don't have a hoish past, you're not
Never
doing
that.
crazy shit. You're not going out all the time, you don't have a hella you don't have no male best friends, actually, or close friends. You're not throwing 30 pictures on the internet. And then the last one, feminine, which is the last thing that you said, is about the, helping the guy with whatever he needs, which is the cooking, cleaning, nurturing type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those three. So, write them down. All right, red pill and chili. Let's get it. Sorry, let's go in depth on this next one. What are some signs a man is a fuckboy? Earlier you said on my Instagram, you said that a guy that that has a baby mama that still talks to his baby mama, but what are some other things?
I think if they want to have their cake and eat it too, like they want to basically keep a female there in their roster, spend time with her, get her intimacy, get all the companionship that she provides.
Yeah.
But they don't want anything more than that. Like they would never be in a relationship.
Okay.
They just want everything that comes out of the relationship.
Okay. And then what's bad about that? Why would they be labeled a fuckboy? Like what's bad about that from your perspective?
Because I consider a fuckboy somebody that mentally knows better, but they're completely willing to hurt and manipulate somebody.
Here we go. What do you mean by manipulate? What do you mean by hurt? And what do you mean by they know better? What does that entail?
So thank you. So if they're going to say like sorry, distracted.
She got dry eyes.
I have dry eyes, guys. Okay, so if they are willing to lie to a woman or girl and manipulate them emotionally because they know that, okay, this girl's feeling me. She wants to keep hanging out with me. She wants to keep seeing me. She's got attached. She has feelings. And they know that it's not going to be reciprocated.
Okay.
But they're still willing to play that part even though it's not genuine.
Okay, but what if they're not lying? What if they are telling the truth?
I don't know if guys are out here now these days saying, hello, I only want to sleep with you maybe 4 times this month and then it's over. Like, I think everybody's playing that role of like, I care about you. I really like you. I want to keep seeing you. Like, they're going to say whatever they can, but it's not sincere and it's not genuine. And I think that's when a fuck boy is like a nefarious figure, right?
Okay,
if you're a fuckboy, you're not a good guy. You're not a good person.
But that's what I'm trying to understand completely, because a lot of times you don't know till you know, like until it's already over with type shit. So like you could be seeing a girl, or girls can probably do this shit too, but you could be seeing a girl and you don't know until you like she press you, or you be like think and be like, you know what? I actually would not want to get in a relationship with this girl right now at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question to you would be, if they're honest about if the woman was to approach them and ask these particular questions, how would that make them still a fuckboy? Or is it just a dishonest to you in your personal opinion?
No, I think that what would separate them from being a good man and a fuckboy would be the ability to communicate completely, genuinely, and honestly and say, like, hey, look, I'm not trying to get a relationship right now. This is very casual, and I don't want to hurt you in any ways. And I don't want to distract you in any ways. But I want to be honest with you. If you want to keep seeing each other, this is what it is. Which, honestly, I think that if you know that's how it is, then you shouldn't keep seeing that girl.
Okay.
If you want to be a good guy.
Okay.
Which most people don't. If you want to be a good man, if you want to be like little rainbow angel sliding down, then you should be honest and you should say like, hey, look, I don't see you in that way. I probably am not going to be serious about a relationship anytime soon. And I don't want to hurt you and I don't want to waste your time. Because some girls are true romantics, you know, and they'll fall head over heels for someone that they're not interested in.
I might say some things that may trigger you, but hold on, where my buttons at? City boys, we up. All right. When it comes to relationships, you can't necessarily be honest because you yourself don't know, right?
When it comes to relationships, I shouldn't be honest.
No, I never said that.
You just said that.
No, I said no. To play it back, boo boo. I'm very particular with my words. I said you don't know 100%, so you can't necessarily be honest. I didn't say shouldn't be honest. So for you as a man, right? Let's say me and you dating, and then I see that right now me and you could not be in a relationship. I wouldn't say, hey, I would not want a relationship with you. I would communicate, if you ask me, these are the reasons why I don't see a relationship with you. Because that's two different things. One is saying that it's never going to happen, and one is saying that if you made some slight changes, that it could happen. Or I could see you differently and it could happen in the future.
I would very much respect if somebody said it like that.
Like what?
Like what you just said. Like if somebody were to say like, hey, maybe I would be in a relationship with you, but this would have to change.
Got you.
Maybe, and you know what I mean? Like communication is very important. And I think that's what separates you from being like a bad person morally and ethically is if you're lying and you're manipulating and you're like blowing smoke.
Okay. Lying, I get.
You know what I mean?
I get lying 100%. But that's why I posed the question of if someone was honest with you, would it be different to be a fuckboy versus a guy that you're just sleeping with that you just can't get at this point in time?
I think like the female version of what you're communicating to me would be like a woman that goes into a relationship with a man and she has no desire to be with him in the long run, right? And she just utilizes him purely as a resource, like to get purses, vacations, money, attention,
don't be that simple.
All that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think that what you're explaining to me, and I'm trying to come at you with like how women do that, because men will come in and they'll play that part.
The top percentage, man. I want to be very clear with the audience here.
And I think that at the end of the day, it really just depends what your motivation is. If you want to be a good person, if you want to be morally just and ethically correct, then you should be considerate of people's emotions and the way that they feel.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm saying if you want to be a morally just person. And now if you don't care, if you're just out here in survival mode and you're adaptive and you don't really care about how your actions and your words affect other people, then by all means, rise to the top in the best way.
No, the only pushback I have with that is people are going to do what people do, right? So for example, if you look at the dating marketplace, maybe you might be different. So I'm not talking about you particularly, but so keep yourself out of it.
Anomaly.
But majority of women, they do like toxic guys. They like dudes that can pull their emotional strings. They like dudes that can definitely cheat on them. Not necessarily saying that they will cheat on them, but definitely dudes that can and have that display of other women around them, etc. That you can see that time and time again. So as a man, we are problem solvers, right? So if we are like, you know what, I don't get no bitches. How can I get more women? You know what, I'm going to adapt the traits of the dudes that are actually getting the women. So I don't necessarily agree 100% about the being morally right and always communicating and always being honest, etc. Because that doesn't give you the results that you want for majority of men. What are your thoughts on that?
And that's why I said it depends if you want to be like, I want to be someone that's considered a very morally and ethically correct person, right?
Got you. Okay.
And I am not out here communicating with. If I wanted to be a villain, I could easily manipulate men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could have like this guy paying my rent, this guy paying this bill. Like I could have, if I wanted someone just to talk to when I'm sad, like you know what I mean? Like I could literally just utilize all these guys as resources.
Yeah.
But I don't do that because I see them as human beings and I know that they have emotions, they have a spirit, they have a soul, and I need to be respectful of that. And if I were to have a son one day, I would never want a woman to be able to like tap into his heart chakra and manipulate him and get him for everything that he has.
Okay, so what's the difference between? See, this is where it starts to get a little tricky now, because what's the difference between you getting into a relationship and getting what you want versus him getting what he wants? Both of y'all going to be battling in the sense of what you each other wants more so. So who decides that?
Well, in a relationship, that's a completely different ball game.
Not even in a relationship. I'm talking about even in dating. I'm talking about even before the relationship happens. Like, for example, if you're a dude, more than likely you're going to want to have sex with the girl before any commitment. You're going to want, you're not going to want to over invest in her, you know what I mean, taking her on multiple dates, etc. You're going to want to smash as fast as possible. Things of this nature. So what I'm asking you is, what's the difference between a guy trying to get what he wants and, I guess, your word of manipulation or being unethical?
Look, I get it from like a survival standpoint, and men are literally like, your drive is to produce, right? To succeed, to conquer. Like that, I'm being serious.
Go ahead, yeah.
Like that's the men energy, right? The male energy is like reproduce, conquer, succeed, grow. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, if you think masculine energy, that's what you would view it as. And so I completely understand everything that you're saying.
Here's the but. Come on, talk to me.
All I'm saying is, like, even for example, what we are observing now, we're seeing all these women that are super hypersexual, right?
Yeah.
We see this like overabundance of like OnlyFans and sex workers and all these things.
Yeah.
And men that are completely okay with paying to talk to a girl for $100 an hour. They're so desperate for companionship that they're willing to pay $100 per hour just to talk to a female. Yeah. Which is very sad if you think about it.
Yes, 100%.
It's like, I agree with that. It's heartbreaking to think about somebody is so sad and lonely that they're willing to pay $100 an hour just for a girl to show them attention and pretend that she cares. Yeah. And so what I'm trying to say is, it's very unhealthy on both ends for either people to sit here and manipulate each other and pretend that they care and feed you a bunch of lies if that's not sincere. I think that everybody should always be concrete in everything that they say. And I think that you should consider the other person's emotional well-being. But that's me on my Jesus wave.
I'm about to say, because
that's me. I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not how the world works. In most,
the world doesn't work that way.
Got you. In most circumstances, the world doesn't work that way. I'm doing something for you to give me something. That's a lot of times what the world is, more transactional than what you make it out to be. From your perspective, it sounds like to me you want it to be very open, honest, communicative. Yeah. No, that's not how it works though. Because you trying to get something from most people. Everybody trying to get something. Whether it's friendship, whether it's sex, whether it's whatever it is, you're trying to get something for someone else in that relationship, even in platonic relationships. So I don't necessarily agree, but I do understand what you're saying.
But what makes it nefarious is when you know that you have like a foot of game above them and you're willing to like say whatever because you're like, oh, I can just say this and they're going to give me that. Even when you know that like at the end of the day, you're not doing something that's kind. What
do you mean? Break it down a little bit better.
So like how men are these days.
Okay, talk to me.
You know, like a lot of men are willing to, they find a girl and they're willing to like pretend to be Mr. Romeo and be so sweet and kind and generous and act like they care about you so much. But in the back of their mind, they're like, I would never marry this woman. But they're gonna keep on.
No, hold on.
You know what I mean?
No, pause real quick.
So why can't they just?
No. Hold on. We got to stay here for just a second. So what's the difference between? Because there's a difference. Men don't care about marriage like that. So a man can 100%. Huh?
You think?
I know. What are you talking about? Maybe like
no,
a minority.
I'm like, you think? Like,
no, but that's what I'm saying. So why is marriage the ultimate sign of you caring for someone versus you just caring for that person? Maybe you didn't word it correctly, but there's definitely a lot of dudes that care about you that would not get married for sure. Or you don't agree with that?
I think that marriage is kind of like a metaphor for your commitment to another human being.
All right.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
Like when you're willing to marry someone, think about the process of getting married. You got to change all the paperwork. Mm-hmm. As a woman, you have to change your whole name. Mm-hmm. Like, and you are, no matter what happens, even if you get divorced at one time, you're going to be carrying their name. If you get pregnant, you're going to be carrying their child. You are an extension of their entire family tree. Mm-hmm. And so I think that marriage is like a symbolism of I love you this much, I care about, or it's supposed to be.
Well, no.
It's supposed to be.
That's false.
I think in a perfect world that marriage is supposed to be like a symbolism and a metaphor for like, I care about you this much. I love you so much. I'm so committed to who you are that I am willing to sign in every external way for us to be together. In my paperwork, in my taxes, in life.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I have multiple.
Think about that. That's a big step.
No, I get that.
You're tied together for the rest of your life.
It's actually bigger than what you think it is. But my thing is, I have two problems with that. Number one, marriage has never been about love. I don't know why people of today are so loved up. It's never been about love. It's always been about business. Business and family.
Thanks a lot, Disney.
It's always been about business since fucking beginning time.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Number two.
No, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Marriage was not built on the foundation of love. It was built on the foundation for resources and necessity.
Yes.
You got married because it was like, oh shit, he got 40 goats.
Yes.
Like it wasn't like, oh, I really love him.
Or for different families to stay with each other, etc. Yes. But number two, guys lose everything by getting married. And guys are waking up to this fact of, I lose everything by getting married. I lose my fam. If we get a divorce, huh?
Not if you get a prenup.
No, even prenups can get thrown out. 100%. We done multiple videos about this. But point is, why would you even get married? Because it just doesn't make logical sense. You don't gain anything by getting married from a male's perspective. So men are opting out to get married altogether because it just doesn't make sense. And if the guy care about you that much to get married, he's only doing it for you. He's not doing it for himself. So I push back on the notion that you say that marriage is like this ultimate showing of I love this person. No, the ultimate showing of I love this person is staying with that person, number one, and number two, protecting and providing that person for that person, from a male perspective at least.
Maybe in your community, but I think there's a lot of guys that want to be married.
Dumb. I'm gonna just be honest.
I really do. Like, I think that there are on planet Earth, call me crazy, but I think out of 7 billion human beings, I guarantee you that there are men on planet Earth that would love to have a wife.
No, I get that. I'm not even arguing that. I'm arguing that men slowly are waking up to the fact that it's not beneficial for them to get married.
Yeah, and it's also, women are waking up to the fact that why should they be loyal and faithful in a relationship with men that only just cheat on them? And that's, you know what I mean?
You're changing topics right now. No, but we can go there if
like,
you want
the men are like, hey, wait a second, we shouldn't get married. And the ladies are like, hey, wait a second, we shouldn't be faithful. Like, and it's like...
This doesn't correlate, because you should be faithful when you're in a relationship.
You should. Hey, high five. We agreed. Hey, look.
No,
everybody, look. We agreed on something.
One thing.
You should be faithful in a relationship. You heard it here first.
Whoa, no. I want to be clear. You should be faithful in a relationship if that's what your relationship is about. Because obviously relationship is different.
You should always be faithful in any relationship. Even if it's just with your friend. You should always, like... That's the thing that upsets me is in relationships, everybody's... Like, you should always be loyal and faithful in your friendships, in your relationships. Like, you should never want to hurt the people that you hold in your circle, correct?
I got you. But I guess the definition I'm using for faithful is like one-on-one type shit. I'm just saying that there's different relationships and different circumstances where the girl is okay with a guy doing X, Y, and Z.
And that's why I think communication is so important. Yeah. Because I think that guys I don't think they've woken up to the fact that I think there are a lot of women that have gotten a lot more open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man were to say like, hey, look, I love you so much. I want to continue a commitment with you and grow with you. And I want you here with me.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie. I saw a little shorty at the gym the other day and she was looking super thick.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, be honest and say like, hey, I want something outside of this. Now, some people, depending on religion or spiritual beliefs,
I love you, but I want something outside of this.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna practice that line.
Like,
all right, go ahead.
Me personally, and I do consider myself like a spiritual person, I would respect my partner so much more if they would just communicate with me like, hey, look, I want something external.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to go through my phone and see that I snuck around and lied to you, and because that's what breaks my heart.
God, it's the lying part.
Yeah, it's the lying and it's the conniving. It would be like, how would you feel if like your best friend, you found out that they went to a party and they were just trashing you and talking, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like it hurts your heart, you know? Like when somebody that you love and you care about and you respect, when you find out like, oh, so that's how it is. You're willing to embarrass me and humiliate me and hurt me.
Yeah.
So if a man were to come to me in a relationship and say like, hey, you know, whatever, then I feel like there is an ability to create healthier boundaries to where he can still explore and I can still explore.
Okay.
But let's explore together.
I get that. I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy and I get that.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But the only pushback I have with that is a lot of times when men put themselves in that predicament, females are more likely to be okay with stepping out. And men know this inherently. So, for example, me and you dating, and I'm very open and honest with you, and I'm like, hey, I want to see this girl, I want to see that girl, if we want to do it together, or if I want to do it apart from you, but I'm very open, I'm very honest about it. In my mind, I'm going to feel that you're going to be more likely or easily be able to cheat on me. That's just how we are. That's just how we act. Versus me lying about it and then you being faithful and having this fairy tale in a sense.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of girls are cheating these days.
I know that. That's my point.
Like 10 years ago, I used to never hear about females that cheated.
Yeah.
And now...
most of them do.
I don't really hear about females that...
don't cheat.
Yeah. And I hate to say that.
Yeah.
And it's on both ends. Like, men are out here...
everyone doing what they want to do.
Being terrible.
Yeah.
But this is like the first time in my life that I've realized like, oh my goodness, like women are out here just as bad as men. They're having sex with like their personal trainer, their boss, their like friend from college. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's an epidemic of people being dishonest. And at the end of the day, it's messed up.
Yeah, but okay. I like to talk about the problems, but I also like to talk about the solutions. So your solutions that you are giving is
honesty.
I don't know if that's a solution.
But that's just me. You can't hold me to the same standard as every human being in America. Like, okay, there are women right here that if you were like, hey, I'm thinking about another girl, they're not going to be like, all right, who is she?
Yeah.
And who is she? Like, hey, let's figure it out. Let's go take her to the Olive Garden. You know, like they're going to be like, what do you, like, you know what? They're going to freak out. They're going to like be so offended and they're not open to that fact. I've come to peace with realizing that most men cheat. And the higher you get in the percentage,
even more.
It's, you know what I mean? You can find a regular guy that literally is like selling Nissans and he's going to cheat.
Yeah.
If he gets the opportunity and he doesn't think that anybody would find out.
Yeah.
I've never in my life ever, and I'm sure they're out there, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm sure there's a man somewhere on planet Earth that's like, be back, thought. I love my wife and my family. How dare you?
Very religious.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's men out there that are like, they would be appalled at the idea of even cheating on their wife.
Yeah.
But I have not met those men.
Gotcha.
I've never seen them. I've never seen Bigfoot. I've never seen aliens. I've never seen a ghost.
Stop.
I'm sure it exists.
I'm
sure that it's out there, but I haven't seen it.
Got you.
And so I have to adapt and articulate everything within my mind of what I've seen and experienced.
Gotcha.
What I've seen and experienced is all men cheat.
Yeah. And
the more successful they are, the higher chance that they are going to cheat.
Yeah. Yes. You spin facts.
That's what I'm
cannot
seeing.
yeah.
I'm not like skipping around happy that that's a statement. I'm saying that that's what I have observed. I have seen nothing to disprove that theory.
Okay. Now, then the question would become, are you changing, first of all, the people that you are interacting with, number one? And number two, are you adapting to that reality?
I think that I've adapted completely.
Okay.
And I hate to say that because there was once upon a time that I was like this very sweet, innocent girl that was like rose-colored glasses and I was like, this person could be so wonderful and great and
perfect,
amazing.
Disney
Disney.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a Disney princess.
Yeah.
And the older you get, you realize like that's not true at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. I feel you. Right.
Is this depressing?
No, it's not. No, this has been Red Pill and Chill. You know, just literally 2 questions, and this was a whole 30 minutes. That's dope. All right, and then what?
30 minutes from 2 questions. That's
exactly.
Crazy.
That's why we go in depth on this Red Pill and Chill part. But anything you want to say, and then what's your IG?
So my Instagram is Danessa El Rea, and all I want to say is it's up to us to make this world better. So I guess the world's going to explode, right?
I don't know. No,
it's going to explode, right?
No, it's not. But things are definitely shaky, and we don't know what's going to happen. I would say that. I would say a lot of dudes are simps.
But if you are watching this and you do have a kind and good heart, I don't want you to give up.
Can you stop?
Because I haven't given up. And one day I maybe will fall in love and get married and have a great life, and you could too. So let's keep our hearts pure.
If you're a guy watching this video, stop simping. Stop being stupid. Don't do what she was talking about the honesty thing. I would say...
What are you saying? That they should lie?
I never said that. See? That's why you gotta listen.
What's the opposite of honesty?
No, that's why you gotta listen. Instead, I would say be transparent enough to where she understands you. But if she doesn't ask, why would you tell? So the way that you explained it was like, I am going to openly say these things. I'm going to just from the jump say these things. And I'm telling you people that's watching, and you don't know. You literally, when you meet a female, you could say, hey, I'm not ready for relationships. But then you meet a female, and then this female is dope. She's a good woman. She's not a hoe. She's attractive, etc. Then you might change your mind and be like, you know what? Shit, I actually see a relationship. Or you could be the complete opposite. I want a relationship with this beautiful woman. I think she's amazing. Some shit, right? And then you find out that she's not loyal. She's obnoxious, she's rude, disrespectful, etc. And then you like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this woman. So I'm saying don't go to things and putting people in boxes. Let them put themselves in boxes.
Well, I think women can be simps as well. You know, women
true.
There are women that will
I agree.
they meet a guy and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so nice, and they're like willing to have sex on the first date. They're willing to like let this person into their home. They'll tell them all their life story. They attach to them very deeply.
Okay.
And so I feel like women can be simps. Men can be simps.
No.
And I think that I think it stimulates from?
Okay, go ahead.
I think that this whole simp energy truly stems from the
lack of abundance, but go ahead.
The lack of abundance of love.
Get out of my fucking house. Of love, no. From men, it's the lack of abundance from sex. For women, maybe it's a lack of abundance of love.
They want sex, but they want love too. Like,
yeah, but you can't get to love without sex.
I know it's not cool for a man to say that he wants love.
No, I'm not even saying that.
But I do think that men do want love. I really do think that they want love. Yeah, but you have to get sex
before you get love.
What?
Yes. You have to get sex before you get love.
Is this on record?
Oh my God. Are we
living? So if you had a son, you would say that he should go and have sex before he gets love?
1,000%. Fuck love.
You don't think that he should establish a relationship, fall in love, and then be intimate physically?
No.
When he could
fuck
risk
the bitch as fast as possible.
Because
dead ass. Fuck her fast as possible.
That's gonna be a meme. That's a gift.
That's gonna be a clip.
Fuck bitch as fast as possible.
No, because listen. No, hold on. Because now you gotta listen and really think about what I'm saying for right now. Most women have had one night stands. For you as a man,
Not me.
I said most. Did I say all? Or did I say most?
Continue.
Thank you. So, Miss Sassy, most women have had one night stands. They went on a first date, they met that person, they had sex. For you as a man knowing that, and you go into a relationship looking for love, and you go on 3 or 4 dates and and you go to 3 or 4 dates, and you find out through a friend, friend. This is someone you don't even know that she had sex with a dude on the first date. You gonna feel jaded. You gonna feel like, damn, I put my this much energy or this much investment into a woman, and I got this much, but this other dude put in like this, but got all this. That's how you're going to feel as men. That's how we feel when we invest in women and they don't give us what we want when it comes to that. So what I'm saying is give them less. Matter of fact, Myron Gaines, shout out to him. He even made a book called Women Deserve Less or some shit like that. I say give them less and go for more. And then if they reciprocate that energy, then you give them more. Versus you going to give them love and flowers and taking them on 3 or 4 dates and go to Nobu's and shit, and you at Salt Bay restaurant doing this shit and paying for $1,000 fucking dinners and not getting no fucking pussy. No.
That's not the goal. Oh wait, for y'all it is.
Yes. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Women are the gatekeepers of sex.
But you have to understand, I look at these things. If I were to have a son one day, and my son's getting older, and I would always give him the advice that he needs to establish a true core connection with any woman that he's being physically intimate with, because why? A, she could get pregnant, right? So you just trying to get any ratchet ass girl pregnant?
And this is why dads. No, hold on, listen very carefully. This is why mothers are cool, but dads are needed in fathers' lives. With that advice is terrible. When it comes to dating market, I'm just being honest right now. When it comes to
the advice for me telling my son that he shouldn't be physically intimate with somebody that he's not established an emotional connection with is terrible. That's what you're saying.
100%. In today's dating marketplace, 1,000%. You want to approach relationships and people like they want to be approached, right? So when it comes to men and women, maybe in a very particular scenario
that's
of
what
a
you would tell your son.
What?
You would tell if you had a little baby boy.
Yes.
Let's imagine, theoretically, there's a little 11-year-old right here.
Yeah. Well, 11. I'm not talking to him. But go ahead. Go ahead.
And he's like, hey, Dad, I like this girl. Or you're going to say, yeah, get that pussy back. You know what I mean?
Like, not at 11 years old. Of course not. But if he's
Or you're going to say, hey, this is what you should do. You should get in a healthy communication. You should get in a healthy relationship. You shouldn't be intimate with any female whatsoever. It's dangerous. You could get STDs. You could get her pregnant. You could mess up your entire future.
Of course, you communicate to them that you have consequences when you have sex with a woman. That's completely different conversations. But you don't tell him to lead with that bullshit of what you're talking about. That's how men are getting fucked over and perceived as nice guys or the pushover guys. That's why these dudes are killing themselves. That's why these dudes are going to these podcasts and like, I'm doing everything right. I'm treating women with respect, with love, etc. And I'm not getting the results I want from them. That's why your advice is so bad, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Your advice does not work in today's marketplaces. Maybe in a minority of women, it may work. But for majority of women, you want to approach things differently than 1950s. 1950s, that works. That would treat them with respect, take them on dates, give them flowers, etc. That worked in 1950s. But this is not 1950s no more. A lot of women will even say that you a simp if you bring flowers. A lot of women will say, oh, he's doing too much. Oh, no. Why? No. So do less. Treat the woman with respect still, but don't treat them like overly respected. Don't fucking do crazy shit. Treat them with love and compassion as a still human. All these things that you talked about, but just not to the degree that you're talking about it. Don't go for love. Go for, is she a good fit for you? Is she cool? Is she, etc. All these different things. Not fucking love or connection.
If she's good for you.
No, good for you in not your way. I want to be clear.
Cool.
No, not.
And if you can get the pussy.
Thank you.
You heard it here first.
What the fuck? Then after you have sex with the woman, and she gives you, she reciprocates your energy of I like you, you like me, blah blah blah, then be like, hey, all right, I see this woman, I had sex with her, you know what, damn, I still like her. A lot of times men don't even know if they like. No, I'm dead ass. You think I'm joking about this shit? I'm dead ass.
I'm not laughing at you what you said. I was laughing at the way you said it.
You know, I got you.
Man, I still like this. I'm like,
because a lot of men, they think they like a woman, but then they have sex with them and then they don't like them no more.
Oh, you think?
Hey, that's what I'm trying to give game out here. So a lot of men had this, what they call that shit? I forgot what it's called.
I think we agree on a lot of things. I just think that if and maybe I am in a 1950s perfect Leave It to Beaver world.
Yeah.
But if I were to have a son, I would stress to him the importance of only being intimate with females that he sought the desire, like what were to happen if you get her pregnant? Which is the number one thing that could happen, right? I would never tell my son, yeah, go off, go spread your seed. Like, I would never do that. I would always I would stress the importance of the girls that you are intimate with could get pregnant. She may keep the baby, especially with Roe versus Wade. You know what I mean? Like, now you don't even have the option. Mm-hmm. And so I would tell my son, and I would tell any young person under the influence of me, I would say, like, hey, you need to understand that every single person that you're intimate with, there's a chance that there could be a child. Mm-hmm. And if you are looking at her like, oh, I would never date her, I would never be in a relationship with her, she's for the streets, then why are you being intimate with someone that you could have a child with?
Okay.
You get me?
I get you. I completely understand.
Do you agree?
That's what I'm about to get to. Number one, that advice is perfect for women.
And men.
No, men and women.
It's your baby too. What you mean?
This is why the podcasts
son.
like this are
it's
so
your
important.
Child.
But you gotta understand something. Men and women live completely different lives. We don't live the same lives.
And they do, but it's still your child.
Okay, I wanna clarify some things so we can. This is a good episode. I like this Red Pill and Chill.
It always is.
All right, so when it comes to men and women, that advice that you are giving is perfect for a woman, but it's terrible for a man. Now, when it comes to the part of understanding the consequences of sex, I agree with that particular contextual part, right? Which is, hey, if you have sex with this woman, even if you wrap up, the condom could break, etc., and blah, blah. And if you have raw sex, it's even worse. You can have STD, get her pregnant, and get child support for 18 years, etc. I get that. I agree with that 100%. The part that I'm disconnecting that you need to understand that you are missing the context of is men need to have experience to have good relationships. For you to only deal with women that you have a connection with, that you have all these different things with, is that fairy tale, I am only going to have sex with a very, very, very selective few of women versus I am going to get a lot of different experiences so I can understand women in general. Men need to have sex with like fucking 25 women. I'm going to just be honest. I think all men should have at least sex with 25 women. Hands down, point blank, period.
Okay, so you're stating that all the men should be out here just having sex.
And I'm not saying just. I'm saying you should be able to have a good set of women that you had sex with.
But at the same time, you're in the same breath, you're saying that women should not do that.
100%.
So where are the women that are coming from? If they're supposed to be having sex with 25 women, so women should not do anything like that, but you're telling men that they should. So, but like, is there no emotional consideration for the women that are hoes?
I'm talking about from the perspective of you. So the question was, you talking to your son? Fuck
what
them.
Happens if
I don't
you
care
get
about other bitches.
Pregnant?
I don't care about other bitches.
That would suck if you got a hoe pregnant. It really
that
would.
Actually would suck. But here's here's my point. Men want inexperienced women. Women want experienced men.
Wow.
Huh?
Why do they want inexperienced? That's lame. That's starfish.
Oh my God. Okay, I want to be clear. Let me even clarify even further. For sexual purposes, yeah, they probably want experienced women.
Well, what's all that about? Like, is it? Hold on.
I want to make sure we stay on topic. So when it comes to relationships, yes, they want inexperienced women. Now, if you force to compare men and women, you can't necessarily say the same statement that you was talking about, be selective and all this other extra shit. You can say that for women, but you can't say that for men, right? So my overall thing to finish that part is very clear. For men to not get taken advantage of, you have to have experience with multitude of different women. If you was a simp,
Good luck with
the way you explain it, it's like I want my son to be set up to be a simp. I'm dead ass. That's the way that you explain it. I want my son to be very selective and trying to love the girl and treat her with respect and blah blah blah. That's simp. See, okay, hold on. I'm gonna be on. No, hold on, cause I gotta get this off my chest. Let's go. Women give terrible advice. They teach men how women want them to be likable. They teach men to be likable. They don't teach men to be attractive. You teaching your son how to be likable, not how to be attractive. There's two completely different things. And in this world that we live in, likable is not attractive. So for you as a man, you have to be doing things that are making you more attractive to majority of women versus things that's going to make you likable to women. That makes you end up in a friend zone. That makes you have no bitches. That makes you have a sad life when it comes to relationships.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, you stated that it would be terrible advice for me to tell my son that he should be romantic, considerate, genuine, compassionate, caring about the women that he is intimate with when I am, even if you take spirituality and emotions out of it, take it out of the picture, pretend you're a sociopath and you really don't care. Hey, your favorite, Joe Goldberg. Imagine that you could still, if you're going to be out here experiencing everything with different women, there's a possibility that you could get one of those women pregnant and she would keep that child. And so my entire statement was built around, I would always stress to my sons, never be intimate with a woman that you could not see having a child with, first of all. Because,
go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you've had,
I'm listening to what you're saying.
I'm sure you went out to the street once or twice, and you probably had a few experiences with women that if you found out they were having a little baby Don Jr., you'd be very upset about, because you'd be like, oh, no, like, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And you have no decision over that.
Of course.
Because if she keeps the child, guess what? That's your baby.
Of course.
And you could be a deadbeat and say, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Or you could step up, which you should, because it's, at the end of the day, your DNA. That's your blood. That's your family tree.
This is a whole nother conversation.
So my entire statement was just like, if I were to have a kid, I would always stress the importance of you could get a woman pregnant. Now, if you look at this woman as just like a fun time gal, and she gets pregnant, now what? Now you're going to be stuck with the responsibility of a child for the rest of your life. Unless you're a deadbeat, and then you could just deuce out.
Pause. But that's why I started the conversation with, what did I say? I said I 100% agree with explaining the contextual consequences of having sex with women. I started off by saying that.
But you were making it seem like it's negative to keep your seed within yourself, and like if you find a female that you want to be romantic with, you were making it seem like it's better to just be out here like having experience. That, to me, I don't agree with that. I think that that's terrible to be out here trying to have experience.
I think it's terrible that you don't. Again, we live in the reality. If you are not experienced with women, women will take advantage of you. I would hope, right, that you're going to have a son that's going to be highly successful, right? If your son is highly successful, but he's not good with women, the women are just going to take his money, take his resources. You have to be good with women so they don't take shit from you. Women are natural resource takers. So if you're a guy and you are very good with women, and let's say you just had sex with, 10, 15, at that point you're like, you know what? A woman can't take advantage of me because I can get a bitch if I want to get a bitch. I just don't feel like getting a bitch right now. But if the way that you explain it, it's more so sounding like be extra fucking selective. Like have like 5 sexual partners throughout your whole entire life. And I'm telling you right now, if a guy have only 5 sexual partners, he's not going to be experienced enough to be able to combat a woman being manipulative, especially if he is attracted to her.
So you don't think that a father could actively coach and help his son and give him great advice that's telling him just to be careful? You don't think that it's possible for a father to tell his son, like, he should not engage with just being out here in these streets because, A, he could get somebody pregnant. We didn't even touch on STDs.
Oh, I did.
We did. Well, in this conversation, we haven't even, like, my first concern was like you could give birth to an entire human being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human being, you're a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happens? Somebody gets pregnant, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, there's another human being.
Yeah.
So that was my first concern, is that you have to be considerate of the fact that you could have another human here.
Yeah.
Second is you could get an STD, and granted, a lot of STDs you can get rid of with an antibiotic, but there are some STDs that will kill you, and you'll be stuck with the rest of life. And if you give it to your partner that you marry and have children with, she could give it to the child.
Yeah.
And you could give birth to a baby that's got herpes.
Got you.
Which is messed up, right? And those two things, I mean, do we need to even go further than that? Because I got more.
Again,
but just those 2
I'm
things,
not
I feel like
combating
are
that.
wise statements.
No, but this is another thing that you have to learn. Like, I don't know what world you living in, but you gotta come back to reality. And sometimes people have to experience certain things to learn certain things. I cannot tell you as a woman, hold on. I cannot tell my daughter or my son, hey, don't have sex to your, let me say my daughter, for example. Hey, don't have sex to your married, don't do no sexual activities, don't go out partying and drinking, don't throw thotty pictures up on the Instagram, don't have male friends, huh?
I would tell all my kids
But
all that.
Okay, you can tell them that, but they're not going to listen. They're going to experience that themselves and then learn from themselves. So me as a human that's dealt with thousands of people and talked to thousands of people at this point, I know humans. So I know that the best teacher is experience for things that you have to experience. Now for like smoking or heroin or some shit like that, yes, you can tell them, hey, don't do heroin because you get fucked up, you can die, etc. That's one thing. But to say things that most humans are going to go through, which is violence, which is sex, which is et cetera, they have to experience them themselves. Now, going back to the ultimate point, which is if you as a man tell your son, hey, son, I want you to be very selective and blah, blah, blah. He don't want to hear that shit. He want to get bad bitches when he's 15. And when he's fucking in college, he want to have fun with his friends and party and drink, etc. When he's fucking 25 and 30, etc., that's probably when he want to settle down. So you can't tell your son at 16 years old, hey, I want you to be selective and all this other extra shit. He's not going to listen. So you have to give him real world advice versus the fairy tale advice that you're talking about that may be more prevalent when he's get older and he finally selects a female to settle down with.
I mean, I feel like everything I said was just like the basic 101 of parenting.
Gotcha.
And like,
Yeah.
like nothing that I said was nefarious.
Got you.
Everything that I said that theoretically, if I had a child, especially a boy, I would want him to be aware of like, hey, you cannot be out here just in the streets having sex with like whatever girl that you meet, or the girls that are like throwing it left and right, which they are these days.
Not true, but go ahead.
Some girls are.
No, they're not. No, I'm just keeping it up. No, they're not. They're doing that to the top percentage of dudes, yes, but they're not doing that to the average dude. They're not doing that even to the below average dude.
No, I'm saying like in my age range, like I remember when I was in high school, it was like unheard of for a girl to like have a one night stand, right? Because all the girls only hooked up with their boyfriends. That was the only man that they knew. And now it's like completely normal to go on Tinder and have a man come to your house.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if I had a son and a child that I cared about, I would express the liabilities that come along with being intimate with someone.
Of course,
and it's
I'm
a
not
child,
disagreeing with that.
It's STDs.
Yes.
And if you like a child and the STDs like are too like huge, you want to be protected from those, right?
Yeah.
Well, you get what I'm saying? But like, even just inviting a girl, like so many guys these days are so casual, and women as well, and they'll be willing to invite a pretty girl that they met at the bar to their house that night, right?
Of course.
They don't know her. They don't know anything about this girl. All they know is that she's got a fat ass and she's got a cute face, right?
Okay. What else do you know?
You are putting yourself in the position as a man to have your entire legacy demolished.
No, you're not. Not if you're doing the right steps, which is why I keep prefacing of saying I do not disagree with you in communicating to your children that these are the consequences of having sex. I'm not disagreeing with that. I want you to hear me. I'm not disagreeing with that part. The part that I'm disagreeing with you on is the frequency of it happening. right? So if you was to be very selective and only have 5 partners in your whole life, you are more susceptible
So you would
to
tell
beautiful
your
women.
son that he should go out and have sex with a lot of ladies?
Yes, especially after a certain age. Not when he's 16, not when he's 17, probably when he goes to college.
Let's say he's 22.
Then 100%.
So you are saying that you would tell your son that's 22
Yes.
that he should go out and have sex with a lot of different women?
If he has not, yes. I need you to understand something very clearly. For a man to be competent, he have to be experienced in so many different realms. So yes, I want him to go to the fucking probably military. Yes, I want him to go do different jobs. Yes, I want him to fuck different bitches. Yes, I want him to travel to different places. Yes, whatever. Yes, I want him to have different foods. Yes, I want him to be different places, different everything, because he have to be competent to be able to lock down a true successful relationship. For my female daughter, it's going to be a completely different conversation than my male son.
Oh, I know. She's going to have to wear a turtleneck and put on a chastity belt. I already know. You're going to be like, I don't even want you to look at another man.
No, I'm going to communicate that the more bodies you have, the less valuable you are. But it doesn't work the same way with men. So I'm going to communicate the pros and cons of having sex, but they are different pros and different cons for men, and there are different pros and different cons for women.
There are different pros and cons for men and women. I just think that it's very foolish to create a community of people. And if you do have a strong voice and you're giving out a message that's going to be heard by thousands of people, I think that you do hold a responsibility to give a little bit of proper guidance. And I think that telling men that they should just be out here having sex with women is terrible.
Okay, I'm gonna be very clear. I have to come back.
But at the same time, you're telling women that we shouldn't be having sex with anybody. So what is this? The Handmaid's Tale?
This is what men should do to be better men. And this is what women should do to be better women.
A man can't just be a strong, independent man that's successful and find a wife and somebody that he wants to build with.
No. I'm telling you straight up, no.
Oh, well,
I'm being honest.
Heard it here first, guys.
No, because I think you live in like fantasy world. But here in reality, let's say he has a one wife he met in high school and she was cool, she was fun, she was attractive, etc. Then 5 years later, they've been married for 5 years. They might even have a kid. They live in a nice neighborhood. He has a nice job, etc. They have a little fights now. Things are arguing, etc. And he sees this beautiful ass. I'm talking about beautiful woman. She's fucking his type more than what he high school bitch is type shit, right? Guess what? That woman is much easier to manipulate that man than if he was to experience a lot of women and then settle down.
Well, different strokes for different folks.
Agree to disagree, this motherfucker. Oh my god. But I want to be clear. I'm not telling dudes to just go out here and fuck anything. Obviously, I'm not saying
it makes no sense that you want to say that it's okay for a man to be out here having sex with all these girls, but in the same breath, you're saying that women should not do that. So where are they finding the women?
Again.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine if all the girls were just like, okay, I'm just going to have sex with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You look down on that, right?
Duh.
You frown down on that.
Duh.
So what's going to happen? There's only a certain amount of women and men. Like, if you tell them that it's okay for them to behave in that way, you don't think that women are going to start just doing the same thing, which is what we're experiencing now, correct?
Yes, but what
now you see girls that are having more sex than men.
Yeah, but what you are conflicting is two different advices, which is if I'm advising a male to be a successful male, you have to I'm gonna be honest. Everything is almost opposite between men and women. Men want inexperienced women. Women want experienced men. Men want feminine women. Women want masculine men. Women want dudes that are leaders, that are aggressive, that are dominant, that are assertive, etc. Men want feminine, submissive, docile, listening, willing to listen, coachable, agreeable, etc. It's almost literal opposite of what men want versus what women want. So obviously I have to give opposite advices. So what you are disagreeing with is just the differences in advices, which is for men, you have to be experienced in all realms of life. For women, even if you experience, you need to at least pretend to be inexperienced. Oh, I've never been here before. Oh, how does a Lamborghini door work? I never did this before. Oh, I never been here. I never did that. Damn, this is dope. You showing me something new. I never tasted
No,
this.
you're right. The more stupid I act, the more
Yeah.
guys like me.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm giving
When
you
I
game
like,
right
I'm
now.
like, I don't even know how to open the door. Should I hit it with my forehead? Like,
Okay,
whenever I
stop.
act like a dumbass.
She trolling now.
No, I'm being honest. Like, whenever the more idiotic that I act, if I act like I'm so helpless and stupid,
It's not.
men love that. They can't get
no,
enough.
you don't fall pause. You conflating helpless and stupid. It's not the same thing. Helpless and stupid is not the same thing. What I'm talking about is inexperience. That's different from fucking.
Oh yeah,
stupid.
that too. If I'm like, I've never even seen a worm. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm like, I don't even know what a wiener looks like.
I don't even know.
I only saw it in a picture once. Like,
yes, versus I've seen at multiple dicks. Yes. What the fuck?
But at the same time, they're gonna go after all the thoughts.
No, they're gonna go after the thoughts for thought activity.
Yeah.
But they're gonna go for the inexperienced woman for the relationship.
And from your own words, they're going to go after the thoughts.
For the thought activities. When they in college drinking and partying, having fun and fucking drunken, yes, they gonna probably go for that.
So as a woman, you have the choice to either be home and be the Virgin Mary, and your whole life revolves around your husband.
Okay.
Or you could be out here in the streets.
And you're going to always be in the streets, though.
And you have to know that your husband's still going to be out there in the streets. But you have to be home.
From time to time.
Exactly.
But here's the difference.
You know what I mean?
But here's the difference. Men get their happiness from more so creating things in life. Women get their happiness, and generally speaking, obviously, get their happiness from family. Generally speaking. Without a man...
That's how it should be.
Okay. Without a man, you can't have that. You can't have family. So if you're going to be a woman in the streets, majority of the time, these streets women stay in the streets. They get in relationships and dick after dick after dick after dick. And they jump from dick to dick to dick to dick to dick. And they stay fucking that way and get cats when they fucking 70 years old and fucking die alone. Yeah. So you pick what life you want.
That was a sad story.
Yeah, but you pick what life you want.
I mean...
You see, it's to me, I'm going to be honest, to me it's simple. If you want to be a good man, you have to be experienced in most things. If you want to be a good woman to majority of men, you have to be inexperienced. Now, if you want to do your thought shit and have fun and do whatever, then guess what? That's going to come with consequences. That's all I'm saying. She's like, all right, let's agree to disagree on this one. Woo! All right. Anything else you want to say there, ma'am?
No, I hope everybody has a healthy, wonderful life, and remember to always remain faithful in your relationships and honest. And Don is a huge supporter of being a good man that only wants to have sex with one woman. And we're out here being monogamous. This podcast is to talk about monogamy and the importance of monogamy.
Yeah, you gotta be so monogamous. I'm down for it. I swear to God.
I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that and repost it.
And then, what's your Instagram?
Danessa El Rhea.
All right. If you enjoyed this Red Pill and Chill episode, this shit was litty. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more of these, I have 4 so far. I'm gonna get a couple more, then I'm gonna release them. If you like this, then comment below if you want to see more of these Red Pill and Chill episodes. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.